Hey Internet. Now today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are on top of the VAB in a game called KSP, that is Kerbal Space Program, and we're on top of the vehicle assembly building. We're out here because we are testing out some mods that are installed. Most of these are visual mods. I don't think they have any gameplay mods currently installed yet. We're just out here checking things out and seeing how the game plays with these mods installed. You may see out in the distance there, we have something already out on the pad. The sun is coming up. It's a beautiful day for a launch. Let's get to it. Aboard, we have our good friends Jeb, Phil, and Bob. We are ready to go. We have a payload on board. This is the Dino Wing. This is a stock aircraft. I quite often will play around with the stock aircraft when I'm testing out graphics mods just because they're there and I know how they fly, and it makes for a pretty stable kind of a experience. So before we get off the ground, just kind of want to check things out on the controls. Looks like they're all right. We will set our throttle to around 20%. And we will go ahead and launch into the sunrise. Graphics mods we're looking at here, cloud mod, scatterer, deferred lighting. Not exactly sure what that does, but it looks bloody beautiful. Actually, it's called deferred rendering. You should probably figure out what these mods are called. Alright, we were up to 7 kilometers. Our SRBs are about to give out here. You're ready for staging. Alright, we should be supersonic by now. Well, we missed the shock cones, the vapor cones. But you do get the Mach effect here. We are 14 kilometers up. Let's increase our pitch over a little bit. We're targeting for around a 100-kilometer orbit. We'll be visiting our payload with 2 different craft. Once we get it into orbit, the generic version of this craft includes a pretty basic space station module, quite ugly. I've built kind of a modified space station module to go along in this one. It's got a couple of docking ports and some habitation, a little bit of maneuvering controls. All right, now here we are. We're looking at another one of the mods installed here. This one's called Firefly. And it gives us a new set of visual effects as we achieve hypersonic speeds and also during re-entry. Alright, we are rapidly approaching our engine shutoff point here. "96, 98, 101 kilometers. Alright. We're going to get our burn underway a little bit early here, as the engines that'll get us into orbit really don't have the same kind of thrust to weight ratio as these ones do. We'll drop our liquid fuel tank. Let's get some distance here. We're not quite in orbit yet, but we do have enough time to reorient. Of course, it doesn't really matter in space how the wings are, but it matters to us because it's nicer to look at, I guess. One more short burn from our puff engines. And we are in orbit. I'm not sure how those doors opened. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy our payload. Payload deployed successfully. Let's activate. All right, we have successfully deployed the most basic space station we possibly can. While we're up here, we do need to extend our solar panels. Should shut off the vector engines as well. All right, we've set up our deorbit burn. Let's go ahead and align ourselves for that. So far, everything is performing great. I haven't seen any graphic glitches, no hiccups, no stutters. Looks generally pretty good. All right, well, let's go ahead and button things up here. Bring the solar panels in, close up the doors. Even in darkness, you can still see pretty good. I don't even have a Planet Shine mod turned on. I don't believe I've even upped the ambient lighting. All right, well, let's deorbit. All right, we'll go ahead and accelerate to our interface point. And the nav point mod, which is going to make hitting the runway a little bit harder. Especially with the clouds. If it's a cloudy day and a rainy day, it's going to make it super hard. We are in 4 times acceleration here, just to get us through the thin stuff. You can see that Firefly mod starting to kick in. Catch here. So as much as it makes sense to fly nose up, we're actually going to pitch it back down again. Try to scrub off some altitude. But there's no heat shielding on the cargo bay. Oh well. The atmosphere sound effects is giving us great audio here. There's some of the particle effects from Firefly. There's our boom effect. Sound, sonic boom. And if you're tired of that, the runway is just past this mountain range here. We're still 30 kilometers up. Just under 2 kilometers a second now. Although we are down to 26 kilometers and we're not seeing any severe heating effect. Getting a little toasty. Pitch it down a bit more. For some reason the joystick isn't working, which is a drag. Let's try to land this thing on keyboard. Whoa, we pitched up a little bit too quick. Speaking of keyboard, did we lose landing gear? Yeah, I believe we did lose landing gear. Thought about pinning those 2 wing elements down. We're still going to be fine. We'll just ditch it in the water off the coast. I think we're still going to fall a little short of the ocean. That's going to make it interesting. Oh, we are excellent. Look at that. Oh, I see. Luckily, we're a little bit south. Is that south? No, that's north. We're a little bit north of KSC where it is water. That's awesome. I didn't even think of doing that. So good thing that we just naturally had gone a little bit north off course. It'd be a nice smooth water landing here. All right, come get us. All right, so that was a successful launch. We deployed the space station. We landed the shuttle, water landing, and they can retrieve the landing gear somewhere or back there. And now it's time to try ourselves a space plane. Let's see what we have here on the runway. It's another stock craft, that's right, but it has been modified. We have added another cockpit to here, the Mark 1 inline cockpit. This did not have a second cockpit. Whoa, but it still has the docking port. So we'll be docking to the space station that we just launched. We'll leave Bob up there and come back down. This craft doesn't re-enter too gracefully. So when we come back, we're gonna make sure Jeb is in the inline cockpit because sometimes the Mark 1 here tends to be burned off. All right, let's oh, you know, the joystick is working. Oh, that is brilliant. How about for throttle? Yes, okay, so not for steering. Okay, good to know. These engines are extremely powerful, but they are super thirsty at low altitudes. So we're going to try to keep the throttle fairly low. Getting a strange graphic effect here. I think that is from Tuffix here. Does the landing gear work on the controller? No. Okay, so most of the things on the controller seem to have lost their settings. Very odd. There we go. We are supersonic. Almost. A little more throttle. There we go. Push through that envelope. Speed and aero control while not trying to scrub off too much of our velocity. All right, got our apparatus up over 32 kilometers, and there goes our air-breathing engines. Rocket engines engage. Rocket engine, I should say, as we only have one in this craft. How'd that alignment go? Well, we drifted to about a degree off. Where are we? We can probably improve that a little bit here. I'm not sure how much attitude control we're going to have without a gimbling engine with RCS on. All right, we can get our inclination down fairly low. That's interesting. It's decent. Down to around 0.6. I'll take it. All right, there we go. 77 kilometers. Still in the atmosphere. Some of that's going to get scrubbed off. And we have 4 minutes until we need to consider burning our engines. So let's have a look and see what the view's like from up here. And we do see some pretty beautiful shadows being cast by the, I think that's deferred lighting. And we can change crew, but we don't have the free IVA mod installed yet where we could walk around the inside of the cabin. We have to just kind of sit here and look out the windows. There's home. Actually, while we're flying over, let's look at this landmass down here. This is a landmass that's in the ocean off of KSC. A lot of clouds down there. We should be able to see scatter effects in that landmass back there, which is actually a great place to land rockets if you're planning on launching from KSC and landing the booster stage or the sustainer stage. All right, 5 seconds. They have to finish circularizing on RCS. How do we do here? That's a little low. It's probably as good as we're going to get. Don't want to burn too much of that RCS. We do need some of this for docking, although we'll probably rely on the space station to do most of our work there. I'm not sure what happened there, but just as we finished our deceleration approaching the space station here, the recording cut out. So we should still be able to make this. It's a little bit off course. We might be docking just as the sun rises. The lighting wouldn't have hurt to make it easier for docking, but we'll take it for the sunrise effect. What a beautiful day for a docking. We have our space station attached to the space plane. If we had free IV installed, we could actually walk all the way through back onto the space station here, but we'll use the old-fashioned method, transfer Bob here. It's not bad, actually. It's a little surprising. All right, Bob. We will see you later. Move our Divot Kerman up to this inline cockpit. You never know. All right, we will let you up here and do all your sciencey things here, Bob. See ya. Down to normal time speed here. Sometimes controls get a little flaky. High speed acceleration. See, already starting to cook up on the front. Let's just try to distribute that heat a little more. Start bringing it back down. Oh, we've way overshot that desert launch site. Still trying to keep that front end from popping off. And the 24 kilometers, we have a pretty good chance here. The Jib taking those G's. Yeah, I can take a 10G corner. No problem. Oh, we're in the air. I guess we don't need any RCS. Mach 1. Well, hang on a second. There was land around here somewhere, wasn't there? Or maybe we're overland. Kind of hard to tell this time of day. Yeah, this does look very landish. The rolling hills here. Let's try to sit down in between these two rolling hills. This should do. This thing doesn't have any air brakes to speak of, unfortunately. This cactus? Guess not. Oh, well, maybe it is. Well, that's interesting. This was a pretty durable. What is that? What kind of tree is this? Probably going to sound stupid for not knowing what just killed Jeb. However, Jeb is dead. He has been killed by a tree, and that means that collision on scatter is enabled. That is good news. Vessel is destroyed. That's fine. These Kerbals grow on trees. It blew up real good. Well, I'd say we are having a pretty successful round of testing the graphics mods. Everything's beautiful, and we're causing lots of mayhem. We've killed Jeb, blown up half of a shuttle, only half, and one whole space plane. But we do have a space station in orbit.